Would you like to reach our film and TV review podcast audience? Do you have a product or service of interest to film and TV home consumers or followers of the entertainment industry? Have a film or show production to publicize? For affordable price plans for all budgets, get in touch and find out about our introductory advertising options. Reach our audience of film and TV viewers and visit our site contact page at filmandtvreview.com, or you can email us at business@filmandtvreview.com. Reach out today. Welcome to filmandtvreview.com. Catch the latest film, TV and streamed show reviews every week. The views and opinions expressed by the authors and those providing comments are theirs alone. They do not reflect the views, opinions or position of filmandtvreview.com or their respective parent companies or affiliates. Filmandtvreview.com makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information in this program and is for entertainment purposes only. Episodes may contain adult humor and language. For full terms and conditions, see filmandtvreview.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Film and TV Review. We're, I guess, fresh off the recent Oscars of 2025, the winners and losers. I think we've mostly, or all of our regular hosts, which I'm joined by Andrew, Richard, Alfonso and James, who saw the Oscars too. We'll talk about that and the what our picks of the last month was. So, interesting. I think we all saw it live. Amazingly. What did we think? I mean, we've already, of course, we saw a lot of these favorites, or rather, kind of like there wasn't one big overall sweep the board winner on this one, but we had big winners with Anora, The Brutalist, of course, and even a short animated show or animated short movie Flow and Conclave, of course. So, we'll just kick off with the big winner, I suppose, right? For the best actor was Brutalist. Now, Richard and let's see, I'm sure Richard and Alfonso or Andrew, you saw this. Was it a deserved winner? I mean, Adrian Brody's second Oscar win, but
Yeah.
what did you think? Just a bit of what it was about those who weren't familiar and feel about
Okay.
catch up with it now.
So yeah, two things. Yeah, what the Brutalist is about, and does Adrian Brody deserve his win, and did the movie deserve maybe more? I don't know. So yeah, the Brutalist kind of sum up. Try to stop me if you think that I'm missing something here, but to sum up, Brutalist is the story of an immigrant. So yeah, I was saying, so he's an immigrant actually who came from Eastern Europe after World War II, and was Jewish, and his family is Jewish, but he, like a lot of immigrants actually, in a country first alone, and his family is still on the other side, let's say, of the Atlantic, and let's say that he's trying first to settle in and find a situation and try to get his family with him later on. It's going to take a long time because, if I'm not mistaken, it takes him like years to have his family joining him in America. The movie is quite long. It's almost 4 hours long. It's divided in two with kind of intermission of 15 minutes. And the first part is kind of is him trying, as I said, to go through all the challenges of an immigrant. And finally, you would think after the end of the first part, which is kind of a positive note at the end of the first part, he has he has found kind of a good situation because he has met through his cousin a very rich and powerful guy in the eastern part of the US, played by Guy Pearce, who is very, very rich, um, and uh, and who wants to create kind of in his backyard, let's say, some kind of tell me if I'm wrong, some kind of monument in a tribute to I don't know, culture and also his ancestors or something like that. I didn't.
It's to the memory of his mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, and so and since he has find out, but Guy Pearce character find out that Adrian Brody character, the immigrant, was an architect, very famous architect in Eastern Europe. He hired him to build this thing. So you would think in the first part actually that this movie is not a drama at all, no? It's just a story about immigration and in that case an immigration that is going very well. The second part starts with the family joining him, etc. But it's definitely take a dark turn in the second part and becomes more a movie about social domination, in my opinion, and yeah, and I will not tell more, but yeah, it is that kind of topics. I personally don't think that it needed 4 hours to be told that story. Anyway, the performance were, even after watching the movie, performances were definitely one of the strengths of the movie. Guy Pearce, even more than Adrian Brody, in my opinion. Felicity Jones, with less screen time, was doing also a very good job. And then I'll stop talking. To answer the first question about Adrian Brody winning last night the best actor in the best actor category. I mean, Adrien Brody is a great actor, but in my opinion, in this particular category, I don't see anyone else who could have won. What I'm trying to say is that he was maybe the best of the 5 or whatever, but it doesn't mean that he did an amazing job, because in the end, in my opinion, he did an Adrien Brody job. I mean, in his way of performing in this movie, it made me think of The Pianist already. But and also, I didn't like Timothée Chalamet's performance because I already explained why I didn't like that. So I don't see anyone else who could have won. So he kind of won by default, in my opinion. So that's my opinion.
He's does suffering very well, and he has like 3 hours of that in various forms. So yeah, he has a good role that fits him very well, like a glove, really. And it's a kind of movie that people say it's an epic, though it costs like $10 million or something, and but it looks way more expensive, and it's also the kind of movie that Hollywood doesn't make anymore. So, but at least often, just looks like a classic film. Looks very of a topic of a bygone era, a little bit adapted to our sensibility today and certain situations too. So it's I think it's that mixture of like classic film style topic with new sensibility that kind of resonated with the critics, I guess.
Yeah, got best performance, but not the best picture, which was, I'm guessing you thought is probably, what is that, Anora instead. But did any of you see Anora, by the way?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you think it's probably justice was done? It's like they made the right call on that one.
yeah. So, I mean, in my opinion, yeah. To me, it was the right the worthy winner in that it was kind of like a very good film, and everyone there was very good, very good. The acting, the story, the kind of shift in tone where you don't know if it's how much of a comedy of a a tense drama it is. It was very original in that sense, and it is like a modern Pretty Woman. And I think I have said in a previous podcast also. It's that kind of like also a kind of a sensibility of nowadays in the way of telling the story of a stripper who falls in love with a young man who has a lot of money, and then the reality comes crashing in with basically with his parents' arrival and everything that comes from that.
And of course, nabbed the Best Actress award, 25-year-old Mikey Madison.
Yeah,
Because we're all
Yeah.
thinking, there's much focus on Demi Moore, who was like, and we've seen in previous ceremonies like waiting, and you're thinking, is it going to be? It's one of those traditional kind of like stories that we've seen in the Oscars, previously, where it's like her time has come, and
Yes.
and it was almost like, well, but if he doesn't justify it, will they do it? Which they have done in the past.
yeah,
So
Yeah, yeah.
were we kind of pleased that it kind of turned out the way? Not that she did a good, from what I heard, a great performance
But
in.
do you think if they did it on purpose, but actually they try to, let's say, to change the mentality of the academy by not celebrating a career, but just by celebrating an actor at this moment in time. You know what I mean? But just
Yeah.
judging the actor, the actress, the director, and forget about what's surrounding that person.
yeah. Well,
That would be
that's
great, but I don't know if it's happening. But that would be great if it's happening, actually.
Yeah.
she's the titular role in Anora. She's in every scene of the movie, and she's fantastic. I mean, it was hard to beat if you think about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that. I think because it's. I mean, I don't. So I really loved The Substance and Anora. I had at 2 and 3 on my favorite films of the year, and I think Demi Moore's fantastic in The Substance. And in another year, I think actually it could have been her year. But having rewatched Anora this week, I think it's a really extraordinary performance. Like Alfonso says, she's in every scene, and kind of the arc that she goes through in the movie. She plays a lot of different things really, and they keep saying in the film that the character is a force of nature, and the character that Mikey Madison and Sean Baker have created, I think it is going to be one of those performances that people look back on and go, it's a real. I mean, mate, I think as well, women are just being written better by. I mean, this is a male screenwriter, but she feels such a sort of three-dimensional character. I've actually seen Pretty Woman since, probably off of the back of thinking it's a film I've just never got around to watching, and I should watch it. And I like Honora. It's quite a different movie,
very, yeah.
and I think uh, Julia, it's a different era and things, and Julia Roberts is very good. But in this, I mean, they keep saying, that she's a force of nature. There's a line where they go, "What happened here?" and then they say, "She happened," and that's kind of it, really. But it's a very three-dimensional, really well crafted performance. I'd have liked to have seen maybe something else for The Substance, but I think Rich is probably on something there. It feels like they've actually given the award to the right person rather than just because that doesn't really do Demi Moore any favors to say, oh well, because she's never had one before, we're going to give her one, even if
Yeah.
she's maybe not the best actress. And it's not her last chance anyway. I think Demi Moore will probably get a lot more work off of this back of it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be a boost in your career, this thing, to be honest.
100%, yeah.
She wasn't supposed to be even nominated for that kind of film.
But we are forgetting one thing is that as much as in my opinion again, as much as the category of best actor only had 1 or 2 really favorite ones, in the best actress, I think there were actually 3 really big contenders. I think that, in my opinion anyway, of course, no actress, Mickey Madison, Demi Moore, but Fernanda Torres, who actually was amazing in I'm Still Here. She is incredible in that movie, but is not spoken enough, in my opinion, this movie. Perhaps because, obviously, it's not an English-speaking movie. it won the international feature award, whatever. Fortunately, because at least it will have some spotlight on that movie and people will talk about it. But yeah, Fernanda Torres could have won as well. But the fact that Mickey Madison, no pun intended, was a complete unknown before the Oscars, one is even more impressive, to be honest. And I have to agree, yes, with Alfonso and James. Yes, she did an amazing job in the movie. Just that for me, the movie itself winning so many Oscars, it's surprising to me because I thought when I left the movie theater back in the day, when I watched it, I don't remember when actually, I think it was September last year or whatever. I thought it was just a good movie. I didn't see it going Best Picture, but maybe it's me. I don't know.
Out of curiosity, Richard, did you see it? How were you in a very crowded room when you saw
No,
it? Because
no,
you weren't.
no.
So
With
I,
like 6 people in the movie theater when I saw it.
yeah. So I've seen this in a big crowded room, and it's definitely a drama, but there's moments
Yeah.
of comedy that really make people laugh. I think because they make people feel uncomfortable, and sometimes laughter is kind of like a reaction to feeling uncomfortable. But it gets really big laughs, particularly the home invasion scene. But
Yeah.
when I've seen this in a smaller room this week, so it's just basically me and one other person. Um, Suddenly, without the laughter, it feels much more tense. It feels like a different kind of movie. But I think when you see it in a big crowded room, people come out of it like, "Oh, that was really funny." Like we were all, it feels like a communal experience, like everybody sort of laughing at the same thing. Because there's also a moment I think with that you start to think, should we be laughing at this? Because it is a home invasion, but that scene is directed so well, I think, that you never feel that she's in danger. You always feel that she's got the upper hand over the bungling heavies that have been sent to try and get this marriage annulled. And it's very, very clever, I think, the way that it walks a tightrope between being, something that could be absolutely horrific, but being very, very funny. There's some very slapstick moments in there with people being punched in the face and falling over, and it's almost like sort of like silent comedy gags and things like that. But I think maybe that's it. It does play very well with it in a crowded room, and maybe that'll be missing when people watch it at home and things. Yeah.
Well, in that vein, I just got to mention also the winner of the best animated feature film was Flow, which Richard you saw and you mentioned, I mean, a month back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Champion. This is a small Latvian film and uh, small budget also.
Yeah.
I think
And what's
done.
hilarious is that in Disney Plus France, they were actually celebrating, but the French reporter was celebrating like it was a French victory. It's not. Just FYI, it's not. But this is the French at their best. It's based a co-production between 3 countries, and France is just like the percentage must be like nothing. It's a Latvian movie for sure, and there is some money invested by Belgium and France, but that's it.
So guessing you
We
were kind of
take that.
pleased.
I think
Sorry?
in Britain we just go, oh, it's an English film. We claim that. I think you should just own it, Richard. Just say it's a French film.
No. I'm being honest.
Some played with Latvia, and I know Latvia gets associated with a lot. So
Yeah, exactly. No, it is a Latvian movie for sure.
But a well-deserved winner in your opinion.
Yes.
Then I mean,
Well, not me. I mean, I said last time, I'm just hearing the words for weeks and weeks that actually this is the best animated movie of the year, etc., because it's like the new generation of animation or whatever. I have to believe the people who know their stuff. I'm not, honestly, I don't see the difference in quality of animation, I don't see the difference between White Robots and Flow. But now we discussed that earlier today, knowing that Flow costed 10 times less than White Robots, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, generally, how did you find the Oscars then generally? I mean, it's always struggled to be, is it a dated kind of like culture really of, when I mean there was a bit of some speeches are mentioning getting back to the cinemas and all that. But I mean, did you find, it's still an entertaining program, the Oscars, and it's kind of like something that they should continue in the future, or you think audience-wise? I don't know what the figures were actually on this, but
Well, actually, one thing I did appreciate that the Oscars, and maybe likely because of what happened, the wildfires,
Mhm.
and because of the way the industry is that the people who were maybe most affected by them were the below the line individuals. So you don't often think about them, even though they get recognized every Oscars ceremony. You focus more on the above the line, the actors, the directors, um, the producers, I guess, for Best Picture. But this time around, I guess they wanted to focus more on in previous ceremonies, the below the line individuals. So, like having the actors from individual nominated films come out to recognize talent in costume design and cinematography, maybe other categories, but I know those two are, each of the nominated films had an actor or actress representing that film and saying, this film's cinematography or this film's costume design was really good, and I recognize the talent from this individual who worked in the costumes or the cinematography. And then in the costume design, the winner was the first African American male to
Mm.
be a winner in that category, and that was an
Wicked, yeah.
so. So it's moments like that because yeah, actors and the above the line people, directors, all of them. Yeah, you hear about them a lot. You hear about them all the time. But how often do you think about, who makes the costumes for this particular film, or who does the cinematography to get it to look a certain way? And I think that's something that really stood out with this particular year's ceremony. Again, maybe because of the wildfires, that those individuals got disproportionately affected. They lost their homes, their livelihoods, and what's going to happen to them? How are they going to survive? Really, how are they going to make it? On that note, to have the firefighters themselves come out and the fire chiefs, and yeah, there was a little bit moment of levity, them telling jokes, but just to have them be recognized. The people who live in Southern California, it's a place where people live and they have their livelihoods, and it's not just, it's a whole community. It's not just like the glitz and the glamour or the red carpets, and it's not something you often think about. So I think you step back and you realize, and that's the way they kind of started off the whole thing, with like a focus on LA as an actual city. Like, oh yeah, people actually live there. They have lives just like the rest of the world. It's not something that
Mhm.
happens like awards time. So I think that's something that made this one this particular ceremony stand out than in years past. So I just wanted to give a props to that. So.
Yeah. There's a bit of a kind of a sea shift in that, which I think I had to do really, as you say, get back to it being a business as a whole. There was maybe one other, well, I wouldn't say highlight, just curiosity, but it was obviously they had a glamorous Bond number, strangely enough. Now, I don't know if it was a goodbye to Bond from Barbara Broccoli. As
Yeah,
in, you can't
I
give them
was
a
thinking the
award.
same
It's more
thing.
like, hello there, we're in the age of streaming. But was it a goodbye to Bond? It was a
Yeah,
strange kind of like,
it felt this way, and I was thinking, did they record this after this the story came out about Amazon, etc.? I was thinking, or
it had to be if it's live. I mean, it's not as if, yeah, maybe, I don't know if it was planned, but maybe they knew it
Or
was in.
they'd have to book the people, wouldn't they? Because it's such a weird thing. I mean, Ray's a great singer, but to have her there but not have Adele, that seemed like an own goal. Like if you're having people, doing Shirley Bassey numbers, it's going to be a cover, right? But if you can't get the current people to come and sing the song, I really didn't understand that, because there was talk about we're going to get rid of the musical numbers this year, and
Mm.
then instead of having last year, you had all five Oscar nominated songs performed live. You had a medley of Bond. You had like Defying Gravity. I mean, obviously, is a big hit, but it's not nominated because it doesn't qualify. And I don't really know what they were doing. It felt like a bit of a just the Bond thing. It's not like it's not even like the Bond film has come out this year. That just felt really random to me.
I was betting with myself. I lost, but I was betting with myself that it was actually that the guys at Amazon were thinking actually of introducing the new James Bond on stage. At the end of this tribute, I was thinking they're gonna show up. They're gonna show us who's gonna be the next James Bond.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's gonna walk on stage,
or someone else. But it's been months and months of talking and say that would be the best moment. There's like 1 billion people watching. Do it now, and they didn't do it.
It would have been, but it does feel like, I guess it was more a thank you to Barbara Broccoli and kind of like her father and that kind of family lineage, and it did seem like a goodbye. Honestly, that is the only reason I can see them having it. And then because they were in the audience there, and of course they were handing it over to Amazon, and that's the only reason. But then who's putting the money? Is it Amazon? Not as if they would maybe is as a thank you, or the as in changing of the guard. But
Yeah.
But as you say, why have these great songs sung by it turns into a kind of like a high level karaoke almost, and you think, oh, okay, odd.
Yeah, or maybe they could have like had all the actors walk on, like every actor that was there just walk on stage and walk across like the start of the old Bond film, like with the sniper sight, and then it stops on a certain actor, like spotlights on him, and that's the reveal. So all the other actors, or they just do it like as a lottery, like everybody takes a ticket and they just go, oh, we'll give so and so a go. We'll give Tom Hardy a go for 3 movies, and just do it live, turn it into a reality show. Because I don't feel like Amazon know what they're doing with it.
Well, maybe you'll get something will change your mind. Maybe we'll get the Moneypenny TV series, and you'll maybe eat those words.
If we're not having a discussion at the end of the year about the best Amazon show is the Bond baking show, then I'm out, because that's what they do now. They just do baking with Harry Potter or whatever they do.
Yeah, but the Moneypenny spin-off, I think it's already on the works.
Let's not forget that they release a new Bond every couple of months. Be it like Citadel or Jack Reacher or whatever is the name of the new Bond of this past month.
Don't bring up the C word, Alfonso, with Citadel.
Okay.
I watched that first. I watched the first. Anyway, we'll see. Whatever will be, will be. Anyway, well, that was the Oscars part. Thank you. And all that leaves me to say is thank you to our regular hosts. Join us next time for our regular monthly roundup. Till then, see you then.
We hope you enjoyed this film and TV review.com episode. Catch the latest film and TV reviews, together with regular episode content from the world of film and TV every week. See you soon. Would you like to reach our film and TV review podcast audience? Do you have a product or service of interest to film and TV home consumers or followers of the entertainment industry? Have a film or show production to publicize? For affordable price plans for all budgets, get in touch and find out about our introductory advertising options. Reach our audience of film and TV viewers and visit our site contact page at filmandtvreview.com, or you can email us at business@filmandtvreview.com. Reach out today.